Welcome to today's lesson, Grade 3 learners. My name is Erica Gura, and this lesson is brought to you by Gauteng Department of Education in collaboration with Sci-Bono Discovery Centre and broadcast by Pakama Research and Development. So our lesson for English Home Language today is listening, and our topic is sequencing instructions. And I'm the presenter, Erica Gura. Let's have a look at our lesson objectives. At the end of the lesson, you will have listened carefully, comprehended, and reacted to a sequence of instructions, put instructions into the correct logical order, and differentiated between different verbs, and understood the meaning of verbs, which make an instruction clear to the learner. Our pre-knowledge is grade 2, has begun to understand that instructions are short, clear commands which need to be followed. Has begun to understand which words require action, such as write, stir, take, empty, etc. Has begun to understand the logical sequence of events, and has been introduced to words that require the understanding of common instructions around the house. So let us begin with our instructions. First of all, let us understand what are instructions. Instructions are when somebody says something and you have to follow what they say. So you are obeying their instruction. You are doing what they ask you to do. Other words for instructions, perhaps you will hear the word command. A command is also something that you must do or follow. Who are the people that give instructions? I'm sure your mom and dad give you instructions at home. Please feed the dog. Please take out the rubbish. Please make your bed. Things like that are instructions. What about a doctor? He might give the nurses instructions of what to do in the hospital so that they can look after the patients nicely. And the nurses follow those instructions after they've listened carefully. What about people in the army? They have people who are in charge, like a sergeant, for example, and he will bark out commands to them, and they have to obey them quickly and sharply so that the army runs smoothly. And then perhaps another person could be a pilot. He could say to the people that are working on the airplane, we must close the doors now, be seated, get ready for takeoff, things like that. Those are all instructions. Good, clear instructions usually start with an imperative verb. A verb is an action. It tells us to do something. So we have to follow that verb so that we can follow the instructions. Let us try a few together now. Can you follow my instructions? You have to listen very carefully. Stand up. Very good. Fold your arms. So everyone will fold their arms. Smile. Sit down again. Put both hands on your head. Touch your friend's shoulder, whichever friend you are going to touch. Put all 10 fingers together. Can you put your 10 fingers together? Let me see. Very good. All 10 fingers are together. Put your left arm up. That would be your left. Very good. Let us try some other instructions together. Now you are going to kneel on one knee. Can you kneel on one knee? That is how somebody proposes to somebody else. You're on one knee. Now, can you kneel on two knees? You're on both your knees now. Very good. Sit flat and cross your legs. Are you sitting flat with your legs crossed? Good. Listen to this one. Nod your head. What does it mean to nod your head? Like that. That means you are saying, yes, I'm nodding my head. Tug on your left ear. This will be your left. Tug on your left ear. Point to your right eye. That will be your right eye. Point to your right eye. Put your hands behind your back. Can you do that? Put your hands behind your back. So your hands will be like that. And now put both hands in your lap. In your lap. Just on your legs. Very good, grade 3s. So remember, verbs are action words so that you are helping someone to understand what action you want from them. These are imperative verbs that I mentioned earlier. So imperative means you must follow a command. It's something that you must do. Here are some examples. For example, go is an imperative verb. So the sentence could be something like, go upstairs and get your bag. Go to the shops. Go to school now. Go to your auntie's house. Let's look at the next one. Stand up. So we could say, stand up when you greet an adult. Stand up in the classroom when the teacher comes in. Or stand up for your friends if there is a bully around. That's very important. The next one is cook. That's also an imperative verb. You're telling someone to cook. Cook enough food for 4 people. Cook this lovely pasta. Cook the meat on the braai. The next imperative verb is write. Write the date in your books. Write a lovely story for me. Or write your homework down. And then the next one is run. I'm sure that's something you love to do. Run. Run can also be an imperative verb, like run to the shops for me. Run to the end of that field. Or run up to the classroom now. So those are our imperative verbs. Here's the picture of our army guys. They are the soldiers in the army, and they are all saluting because they have followed the instructions that they were told to do, and then everything runs smoothly. Right, let's complete these instructions. Clean. What could we say for clean? We could say clean up your room, or clean out your cupboards, or clean that drawer, please. The next one is take. What kind of things could we take? We could say, take your lunch with you to school. Take the rubbish outside, please. Take the dog for a walk. Let's look at the next one. Drive. Drive can also be an imperative verb. Drive to the shops now. Drive to school so that you are on time. Or drive to the shops and get the food. This is an important one. Redo. So that means you have to do something over or do something again. Redo the work that you did not do well. Or you could say, redo this story. It didn't make sense. Or redo this piece of work as it's not satisfactory. So redo something. The next one is finish. A very important imperative verb because we have to finish our work. It's the same as complete. So we could say, finish all your chores before you go out to play. Or finish this job that you have started, please. Or finish tidying up your room. Good. I think you understand those nicely. Right, let's have a look at these instructions together. So this is what a set of instructions looks like. Something that is in sequence and is easy to understand and logical. Go and run your bath. So that means to put water in the bath. Get your pajamas from your cupboard. Get in the bath. Wash yourself nicely. Dry yourself thoroughly. Change into your pajamas. Come to the TV room to say good night. Read your book, say your prayers, and sleep tight. So you can see that that is a sequence of instructions, one after the other, that makes sense. First this happens, then that happens, then that happens. You couldn't go out of order and say good night before you'd got into your bath. You couldn't get into the bath without there being water in it. You can't dry yourself and then get into the bath. And you can't have your pajamas on when you are in the bath. So we have to always go in a logical order. Remember, it is best to start with the imperative verb at the beginning of your sentence. Then it makes your instructions very clear and easy to understand for the person who's following them. Let's have a look at what kind of instruction a mother could give. What kind of instructions does your mother give you? Perhaps she could say, come to the room and speak to me, or take the pets outside, or cook some food for us, or clean up your room. Each one starting with an imperative verb. And what about that army sergeant? What could he say? He could say, march forward, stop, stand up, clean out your tent. What kind of instructions do you hear your teachers giving you? They say things like, look at the board, complete this work, take out your books, things like that. What kind of instructions could a father give, for example? He might say, mow the lawn, or clean out the yard, or sweep up this dust. And what about that pilot? He could say things like, sit down, take all the trays and feed all the people who are in the plane. Or he could say, close all the doors, get ready for takeoff. Now I've got some instructions here that are very, very muddled up. They are in the wrong order. Can you help me to put them in order? So let's have a look at these. It looks like from the picture we have a mug there, and we are going to make something to drink, I think. The first one says, stir some sugar into the tea. That seems to be a little bit out of order. Pour boiling water into the mug. Take the tea bag out of the cup. Drink and enjoy. Then put a tea bag in the mug. Boil the kettle. Then get a mug from the cupboard. Let the tea draw. Add milk if that is how you like it. Oh my goodness, that is so confused and muddled up. Can we try and put it into a logical order or a logical sequence? Sometimes some things might be a little bit different depending on who's making the tea, but we can still see a logical order. Perhaps you would start by putting the kettle on. So you would boil the kettle first, because that always takes a while. And then you could go and get a mug from the cupboard and have that ready. Some people like to put sugar in first. So we could put the sugar in, but I think it says stir. So we have to have the water in first. So we're going to pour our boiling water into the mug. We must have put our tea bag in first though. So we have to put a tea bag in the mug, right? Then the boiling water, then the sugar, then our tea has to draw. That means it has to sit in the boiling water for a little while so that the flavor of the tea can come out. And then some people would like some milk, so we add milk if that is how you like it. And then drink and enjoy. And that makes much better logical sense to do it like that. The person who reads these instructions will know how to make tea if they've never made tea before. Have you made tea before? Good. Just always be careful with boiling water. It can really hurt you if you get burnt. So, can you see that instructions have to be step by step, logical, in the right order, and clear so that they make sense? Now it's your turn to help me to write instructions. Let's concentrate on the first word of the instruction. Remember, I taught you to be a verb. It must be the action word, the imperative verb first. So we are looking for verbs now. The pictures are going to give you a little hint. So something the bread out, we could get the bread out. Something out 2 slices. So we could take out 2 slices. And then look at the picture of the butter there. We're now going to put some butter on. So we could say butter both slices of bread. Because in that instance, butter can be a verb as well. Then maybe we want to put some peanut butter or some spread like that on. So we could say, decide which spread like peanut butter you will be using, or choose which spread you will be using. Then we could say, spread the peanut butter. And what could the last one be? It could be something like eat or enjoy. Now you are going to try it on your own. And you are going to choose something from the list to make or do that you are very sure of, so that you can write instructions for someone else to do it correctly. If you've never done it before, then you can't write the instructions clearly. So think of something that you know how to do at home. For example, make or pour juice. Do you know how to do that? Can you give instructions to someone else? What about make a sandwich, like we did just now? Or bake muffins. Have any of you ever baked muffins? Or cupcakes? Perhaps there's a game that you know how to play very well and you can explain it to somebody else in step-by-step instructions. Or how to go to a place nearby if you know exactly how to get there. So that's what you are going to try on your own. So for your instructions, just remember that you have to think ahead and plan it in your head first. Write in your neatest handwriting. Start with the verb, the action word. Go step by step correctly and always end with a full stop. Then I want you to draw a picture which shows what your instructions are all about, and be sure to color it in neatly. So you can see that instructions have to be step by step, logical, in the right order, and clear so that they make sense. They must start with an imperative verb. Good. Next, we are going to write paragraphs together. That's going to be lots of fun. Thank you very much, children. Thank you for watching this lesson. Please remember to sanitize, wear your mask, maintain social distancing, and keep safe. See you next time. Goodbye.